Did you know that the human heart produces a magnetic field up to 5,000 times stronger than the brain's? This is not just spiritual poetry, it is science. This invisible field extends meters around us, silently touching everything. What does this mean? It means that every emotion, every thought repeated in silence vibrates beyond you and shapes the way life responds to your presence. Perhaps you have already felt this, entering a room and sensing tension in the air without anyone saying a word, or being near someone who radiated calm, as if the air itself had become lighter. It wasn't imagination. It was the heart field in action. The heart vibrates and speaks with life without needing words. But here lies the trap. In a world where spirituality has become performance, many believe that raising their vibration is always smiling, posting positive quotes, appearing calm. But true frequency cannot be measured by appearance. The field does not respond to theater, it responds to coherence. What vibrates in you when no one is watching? That is the question that unmasks all disguises. Performative spirituality is common. We have all tried to seem stronger, calmer, more conscious than we truly were. It is not a mistake. It is only a reflection of the search for validation. But there is a cost. When we act, we drift from authentic reconnection. The ego puts on clothes of light and smiles at the world, but inside there is fatigue, emptiness, anguish. It is like a river painted blue on the surface to look peaceful, while beneath its waters remain murky and agitated. The universe, however, does not bargain with appearances. The quantum field does not respond to what you display, but to what you vibrate. The good news is this: it liberates you. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to maintain a perfect image. Spirituality does not demand spectacle. It demands authenticity. Your true vibration is born when you allow yourself to be whole, light and shadow, pain and hope, fear and courage. And this is where heart physics reveals a secret. The heart is the center of an electromagnetic field far greater than the brain's. This field shifts according to your emotions. When you vibrate gratitude, compassion, or love, it enters coherence. And this coherence reorganizes not only your body, but also how the universe responds to you. Gregg Braden calls this coherence between heart and mind. Bruce Lipton confirms, your cells obey your vibrational state. Your biology responds to your spirituality. But coherence is not pretending. It is not forced gratitude. It is not repeating automatic phrases. Coherence is alignment. It is when thought, emotion, and body resonate together. Imagine 3 instruments playing. If even one goes out of tune, the music is lost. The same happens within you. If you desire something but feel fear and act in contradiction, the field does not manifest clearly. It replicates your inner confusion. That is why the key is not in saying, but in feeling. Manifestation is not born from the mouth, but from the heart. And here gratitude becomes the basal frequency, not as a word, but as a state. Gratitude does not require grand gestures. It anchors itself in small details: the warmth of a cup of coffee, the brightness of the sky, the breath happening right now. When the heart rests in these simple moments, it enters coherence. This coherence repeats, multiplies, and gradually becomes the foundation of your being. It is like the beat of a drum that sustains the entire melody. Steady, constant, silent, but essential. Try this before bed. Place one hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, imagining the air lighting up your chest. Exhale, feeling that light spread. Recall a moment, no matter how small, that awakens gratitude. Stay there for a few seconds. This is not just a mental exercise. It is vibrational training. Each time you do this, you teach your body that gratitude is the ground it can rest upon. And over time, that ground becomes the foundation of your life. But what about anxiety? That force that seems to chase us, that quickens the heart and scrambles thoughts. Anxiety is not failure. It is not an enemy. It is condensed energy. Energy that has not yet found direction. It is like dense smoke, scattered, suffocating. But all smoke can turn to fire when embraced. That is anxiety. Smoke asking for transformation. The path has 3 steps. First, observe. When it arises, breathe and acknowledge it. Here is my condensed energy. The act of naming already shifts your relationship with it. Second, redirect. Inhale and carry that energy to the heart. Visualize it finding a larger space as if the heart were a container that can hold without losing itself. Third, expand. As you exhale, choose an elevated intention: peace, clarity, trust. Imagine that once chaotic energy now expanding toward this intention. The smoke begins to organize into creative fire. This process does not eliminate anxiety instantly, but it transforms its meaning. What once was weight becomes fuel. What once suffocated now illuminates. This is how the river discovers its strength, not by resisting stones, but by learning to flow with them. This is how the heart finds its melody, not by pretending light, but by vibrating the truth that already lives within it. Perhaps you believed you had to fight anxiety, hide pain, prove spirituality. But what if none of that were necessary? What if instead of choking the smoke, you could turn it into fire? What if instead of resisting the stones, you could learn to dance with the river? In the end, it all comes down to authenticity. Not what you show, but what you vibrate. Not appearance, but coherence. Not the theater of spirituality, but the silent truth of the heart. The universe does not respond to performance. It responds to the inner fire born when you allow yourself to be whole. So ask yourself, what do I vibrate when no one is watching? That question holds the key. Because in silence, when there is no stage, no audience, your true frequency is revealed. And it is that frequency that shapes life around you. And what if the pain that today feels like smoke was in fact the call to a creative fire that could illuminate your entire existence? What if anxiety, imbalance, uncertainty were only energy waiting to expand in a new direction? What if each stone in the path were only an invitation to discover that the river always knew how to flow? You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to force anything. You only need to listen to the heart. Because it is already silently telling the universe, I am, I feel, I vibrate. And the universe inevitably responds.